Hey there viewers, and this week we're kicking off with a brand new project. And as you know, by the end of the week there is a day, February 14, which is Valentine's Day. So I'm thinking, why don't we do this week's topic based on dating? If you're trying to look for a job as a web designer, and this is either your first time or you are a junior designer, you probably know that it's quite tough because there's a lot of competition, or there can be a lot of competition, and you might not be getting any responses. This is something that I've been through many times when sending out applications. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on how to turn it around in this week's project. So depending on who you are targeting, we really want to try and focus on quality companies or quality applications versus quantity. So let's say that you wanted to work at a startup which is social, which is dating, for example, sticking to this week's theme, thinking of Tinder, for example. And if you really want to stand out, why not make a project based on dating or social? It could be a prototype, it could be a feature improvement, it could be anything to do with that topic. So one thing to say is that whenever you're applying, let's say that you applied to, if you're a beginner, you're not likely to apply to Spotify, depending on the position, if it's a junior. So let's just say you want to go for Tinder and you don't get any responses. You're then going to try and find a similar startup that is along that genre, and because you've made a project based on that, you're going to then hopefully stand out and you're going to resonate with the hiring person. They're going to see this in your portfolio. They're going to see that you've considered their type of target audience. So that's why what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Lean Startup Canvas for this project. So it's very easy to do a landing page and just showing that, but you really need to have some context, some meaning. What is the problem? Who is the target audience? What is the solution? How is it unique? And for this week, we're going to do something different in that we're going to do wireframes, we're going to do user flows. At the end of it, we're going to have a prototype. We're going to kick it off with a logo in the next video. But if you're not aware, I did a 30-day website challenge, and that was 1 hour a day doing landing pages. And one of them was this one, which is a dating app, and this is called Virtual Date. So if you're interested to make this landing page, you can find a link in the description, or you can find it in the 30-day challenge. And this was day 22, which is really fun. So just going over it, it's just very simply a story of two users, and it's a virtual date, so it's remote dating. It's all on video or even audio like Clubhouse, and it's just keeping it simple with the times. It's safe, hopefully. So yeah, I just kept it fun, and I'm thinking we can use this as a guide for when we're creating the prototype and the flow. So if we're just going to go back to the Lean Startup Canvas, it's a very good idea to think of your audience. But just to go back, so again, the Lean Startup Canvas, let's think of the problem. So the problem, it revolves around dating, but when the pandemic calms down, how can this app survive? Well, it could also be about meeting new people. Or is that a problem, meeting new people safely? This could be anywhere in the world, and Zoom video now is becoming the norm. So rather than meets, you can just remote meet. And also there's the issues right now is the lack of social skills, because we're not meeting people in person now. So outside of your work, it's quite nice to just mingle with other people. So that is a very rough guide to the problem. It's good to think about this at least, because this is the type of question that can come up. One that I've faced is, what problem are you trying to solve? So this problem is meeting new people safely. That could possibly be a problem. And then the target audience. So it's impossible to please everyone. Again, I'm going with Generation Y or millennials. They're the ones that love to be online. They're the ones that absolutely love using apps. Another quite fun thing is there's also Generation X, if you're interested to do this target audience, 1960 to 1980. I'm putting Cobra Kai because Johnny, who also, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but he's also using a dating app. It's quite funny, but you might want to check it out. So I'm going with millennials, but there's also the Cobra Kai Generation X Johnny. So it's good to consider this audience, and just because I'm going with one audience, the nice thing is you can make this your own project, have your own thoughts on the target audience, and make it your own. So again, unique value proposition. What is the product's primary reason you are different and worth buying? So what we're going to do is we're going to be niche. We're first going to focus on the tech community, which is a massive community. So again, we got designers, developers, you got founders, you got project managers, product owners, testers. There's just so many different types of positions. So another thing is that we can make it a bit more different or fun by refining the matches. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to ask a set of questions. So this could be things like, are you Apple or Windows? Are you Vim? Are you VS Code? Are you Figma, Photoshop? Things like that. Just to add a bit of spice to it. But you can also skip that option. So just to put that in there as the unique value proposition. And then solutions. So what is the minimum feature set MVP that demonstrates the UVP? So this is very rough, but we have a sign up page, which is the landing page. And then you have the profile, you have then you have an explore where you can see people nearby or remotely, and then there will be an unlock pro. So this is the business side. They'd like to make money, so how are they going to make money? We're going to get into that, and then we're going to put all of that into a prototype in Figma. So that would be good fun. And just to give an example is when you're designing, it's very easy just to think about the landing page and the logo, but the reality is there's a lot more involved with a startup and doing the designs. So for example, what you could be asked to do is, giving a very good example. So there's a lot of questions about the entry points of the user. So the first one entry point is the landing page. So there's marketing on Facebook or friend. They said, yeah, go to virtualdate.com, check them out. So they then find the landing page, and it could be on the mobile, for example. And what you do then is you'll sign up, and then what you get after that is a check your email. And this is like a success message saying, check your email. You go into your email, you then verify, or you check that's you, and then from there, there's an onboarding. So you then click on a link saying, yeah, I want to go into the app or start my sign up, my registration. And then you'll have an onboarding, which is basically telling you the benefits of joining Virtual Date. And then from there, once you've gone through an onboarding of saying your interests and your set of questions, and if you skipped all that, for example, you can then go to a list page. And this is just a very general pattern, but a list page, it could be people nearby, it could be people remotely. And then after that, if you select someone, there will then be a detail page of that person, so a profile page. And these are very common patterns that you're going to get familiar with, but there's quite a lot of flows to consider. And then at the end is the conversion. How are you going to convert these users? Are they going to start off as free? Probably they are. They're going to start off as free, and then how are you going to upsell the users to a paid plan or pro membership? So that is the end goal. So A is delighting the user, making it very easy, onboarding, welcoming, and then converting the user on the business side. So there's a lot of things to think about when you are doing a startup or an app. And you can think that if you were to go through if you were to make a project for a week on all of those different ideas that we just talked about, I'm pretty sure that if you were to send an application to a startup within this space, I'm pretty sure you're gonna at least be looked at, because you've gone through that effort to understand their market, to understand their potential problems, features, things like that. But anyway, that's only scratching the surface. But I hope you find this useful. So just to kick it off, the name that we're going with is virtual date. Again, very generic. And then the three values is modern, simple, and fun. The competition really is again looking at Tinder. I haven't used it myself. I did start going in there just to check out the onboarding, and obviously it's a very popular app. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. So if you are struggling to find a job, it's maybe because your portfolio is not it doesn't resonate with the employer. So you have to try and stand out a bit more, and let's do a project, something that you want. And yeah, hopefully you found the video useful. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.